Trump just released a new report on how bad gender affirming care is. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. This is going to go into why the Democrats are supporting such incredibly bad, unpopular, and untrue ideas. Gender affirming care, that's the key word, gender affirming. So if you believe in gender, that is, you can have male bought biology, but they are saying a female gender. So you affirm your gender over biology affirming care. Yes, your medical establishment is gone mad.
The Trump administration releasing a scathing new report about the severe impact of gender affirming care, I don't even like that term, in minors, including mental health disorders, cardiovascular disease, and infertility. NIH Director, Dr. Jay Badacharia. Dr. Badacharia, what a pleasure to have you on Fox and Friends. So talk to me about these studies and what you want to do in your position regarding gender affirming care.
So there was a HHS report that was absolutely fantastic, Rachel. The basic idea behind this transition from one sex to another for kids was that if you don't do it, if you don't block hormones, if you don't do essentially changes in surgical interventions, that the kids were going to commit suicide. Right. When you look at the evidence, that actually turns out to be very, very weak evidence that says that. In fact, the opposite is probably true. And of course, the idea that hormone blocking, all these surgeries are somehow reversible is also false. Ethically, why would you do something where the evidence isn't good that you have any benefit and you know there's going to be harm?
Explain to us how we got to that point in the last administration. What was happening inside NIH?
I think the issue is groupthink, Rachel. Fundamentally, you mentioned COVID earlier in the show. What we saw is the scientific establishment has sort of closed ranks around itself, prohibited dissent, didn't allow people to say, well, are you sure the evidence is good? The Trump administration, it's the exact opposite. One of the things I'm most proud of that I've done at the NIH so far is to bring back academic freedom so that researchers at the NIH, if they have a scientific results, even if I don't agree with it, they're still going to be, they'll still be free to publish it.
Republican administrations allowed dissent. You're allowed to come in and disagree. And under Democrats, you're not allowed disagreement. Now, I'm going to argue that Jay Badacharia is talking about here true science. True science allows a dissenting opinion to come in and question data. It's called peer review. You look at the review and you can tear another scientific study down. That was not allowed under Biden regarding trans care. That's an ideology, and that is not science. So the anti-science people is the way Biden and Democrats conducted themselves and mainstreamed it. The pro-science and pro-open-minded, curious about the other side is the Trump administration. I'm just trying to negate what the media has been telling you about Trump versus Biden. And I mean for about 20 or 30 years on left versus right ways of thinking. It is extremely unpopular. This is a video this is going to be from Marjorie Taylor Greene, where they've announced that they're ending Fauci's cruel.
Oh my goodness! Hello! What's his name?
Uno.
Hello!
2021, when we exposed Fauci's Beagle test, the Post ran a cover story saying it was a fake claim about Beagle research. Cover story in the Sunday paper saying we were liars. Then we got all the documents and the receipts through FOIA showing that Fauci absolutely funded the photo that you showed on the floor. When you showed it, the Post wanted to run a hit piece about you and us spreading fake news, disinformation.
Disinformation.
So they called me and they said, hey, why are you in
How do you feel
MTG?
about that, Una?
Yeah. So they said, why are you and MTG still sharing this fake news about Fauci? It's been debunked. And I said, well, actually, we have the receipts through the Freedom of Information Act showing the Congresswoman is absolutely right. They wrote a fact check piece that fact checked their own reporting and said that Fauci and the NIH lied to them about it in 2021 and that we were absolutely right and that he did fund that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was right about the experiments being done on Beagle. She posted it. The Washington Post said it was fake news. And then these people did a Freedom of Information Act and got the science back. And she was right. This is just the way that people act when it's like cult-like behavior. It is bizarre that they would do this, that they would tell lies about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not bizarre in that it's culturally acceptable. It's what culture does, what mainstream media and leftists do against Marjorie Taylor Greene. They lie about her. They didn't check the facts. They went and do a fact check and they find out they're lying. They were wrong. And they don't come out and print an apology to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump has incredibly popular positions like ending this experimentation on beagles. This was incredibly cruel stuff that Fauci did. Fauci is another example of incredibly unpopular opinions, and Trump keeps coming out with more and more popular opinions. Yes, it's very popular to stop doing cruel experiments on beagles. Gee, I wonder why. Is that news? I hope that's not news to MAGA. Here's Victor Davis Hanson on why the polls are getting everything wrong, why they're part of the mass lies, including the lies that the left has run up through science for decades. It's much worse than you think.
At the end of the 100 days of the Trump administration, let's just review for a moment the opposition to it. And it's actually, if you think about it, a tripartite, a threefold opposition. Pollsters, the media, and the Democratic Party and the institutionalized left. The pollsters have Donald Trump down four or 5 points. But when you actually look at the Rasmussen poll or Mark Penn's poll, a Democratic centrist, Trump is almost even. And then when you look with greater clarity at the New York Times poll that has him way down, you see that only 37% of the people polled voted for Donald Trump. But Donald Trump won by almost 1.5 points. Don't you think it should have been, I don't know, 51, 49%?
Just by the very basis of the people that they're polling, they're getting it wrong. They're polling people that only voted for Trump 37% of the time. They should be polling people that voted for Trump 51% of the time to get accurate results of what people think. But they're not doing it because they're trying to dog Trump using polls to attack him. And that's why the polls are so wrong and so off. No matter how many times they quote them, they're off on it. Remember, we heard how bad the economy is from Frank Luntz, who is not telling you the truth. I'll say, I'll be kind to him, but he's not telling you the truth about the polls that claimed the people did not like Trump's economic plan. Here's Maria Bartiromo with the facts of what's actually happened. If you look down there, Dow futures, 41,000. The Dow Jones is up. All of them are back up to where they were. So the economy is no longer in some kind of crisis. The media will not report on it. Here's Maria Bartiromo.
Proves Donald Trump's point that the economy is doing well.
You're right. And one of the numbers, I'm just checking out the numbers myself. It was a 436,000 increase in the number of people who are employed. So this is an amazing report. The number of people, the labor force participation rate rose. So this is a really strong number. I wanted to mention one other quick thing. About 2 weeks ago, every headline, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, was, the stock market is crashing. And since then, the market has been up, like 2,800 points.
Yeah, well, you don't see that
by the way, I don't see headlines about that.
Yeah, you're not going to see the headlines on it. This is why we hate and distrust the mainstream news. They're lying about Trump. They're still lying about Trump. Remember, Biden had these fake job numbers and the media went nuts on it. His jobs are up. The economy is good. There's no inflation. Trump's jobs are actually up. These are real jobs, not fake jobs. Huge, better than expected labor participation numbers, which is the true health of the economy. Scott Bessent's been saying it. And the media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, will not report the truth. They're lying to you. The economy is fine. It's clicking along well. The tariffs are working. Trump's economic policy is working. And the media can't stand it. What do you guys think? Are you feeling personally, is the economy changing for you? I'm Doug in Exile.